Hello everyone. Today we're gonna do a little bit of a more intermediate flow. So we're not gonna stop along the way. We're gonna keep on going. There's not gonna be a lot of rest, and the movements are gonna be more of an intermediate ones. But by all means, if anyone needs a break or you need to stop to realign or to connect with your body, to connect with the breath, please do so anytime you need to. Okay, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start laying down in our relaxation position. So bringing your feet, knees into hip width and parallel, and your pelvis and your spine into neutral. So feeling your heavy tail sinking into the ground, the whole of your ribcage sinking down, especially focusing on that bottom part of your ribcage sinking into the ground. The back of the neck is quite spacious and open, and the back of the neck is sinking into the floor. Maybe closing your eyes just for a moment so that we find a deep connection with the breath. Start to inhale in through the nose into the sides and back of your rib cage. And exhaling through the mouth, just finding your center and feeling the ribs come together. Elongating your breath. Inhaling, try maybe to press your rib cage into the mat and into the sides. And exhale, softening the ribs. Inhaling deeply. And exhale fully. Then on the next exhalation, start to come into your pelvic tilt. Tilt the tail under, trying to use purely your abdominals, and float your arms up and over your head into your ribcage closure. And then as you inhale, circle your arms around and bring your pelvis back into the neutral position. And then as you exhale again, floating your arms up and over your head, tilt the tail under. And as you inhale, circling the arms around and bring your pelvis back into neutral. And one more like this. Noticing the movements of your lower back while we're moving the pelvis. And then circling arms around, bring it back to neutral. And the next time we tilt the tail under and move the arms into ribcage closure, continue going up through each vertebra. Lifting your spine bone by bone, pressing through the feet. And rather than dropping your arms to the floor, try to reach them away from the head without elevating your shoulders. And then slowly rolling down through each vertebra, returning back into that neutral position. And as you do so, bring your arms back towards the hips. And let's repeat a few more spine curls. Exhale, tilt the tail under, peeling off the spine sequentially, lifting the hips up. Float your arms up and over your head. And as you exhale, lower through each vertebra. Come back into the neutral position, bringing your arms back. Inhale. Exhale, tilting the tail, lifting every single vertebra separately. Squeezing the glutes and then floating arms up and over, making sure the bottom ribs are staying pressed into the back ribs. So be careful the ribs don't poke to the ceiling. And then we lower through each vertebra, bringing the pelvis back to neutral, and then bringing the arms. Let's do one more like this. Tilting the tail under, peeling off the spine. Lifting your arms up and over. And exhale, lowering back down. Once you arrive into neutral, this time bring your arms up towards the ceiling and send your feet, knees together for a few hip rolls. We're going to start rotating the spine from the bottom to the right, opening up your opposite arm to the side. Making sure the movement stays in the spine. And then returning the pelvis, returning the arm rotating back into the center, and then going to the other side. So we travel to the side with the pelvis, remembering that the legs are just following the movement of the pelvis. And then to return, feel your heavy ribs sinking into the ground and sequentially bringing your spine. We're going to add the movement of the head and neck. So as your legs and pelvis go to the right, turn your head to the left. And then returning the spine, returning the head, pelvis comes back. Let's do 3 more like this. So we rotate from the bottom, reaching that right arm away, and then slowly returning back. And 1 more on each side. Inhaling. And exhale to return. And just doing 1 more here. Inhale. Open the arm, twisting the head. And exhale to come back. And then holding it here, heels of your feet again so that your feet and knees are hip width apart. Take a deep breath in and neutral, and exhale, spine curl up again, tilting the tail and peeling of the spine sequentially. Then lift your arms up and over your head. And then as you exhale, lower through the spine. And as you go to the very bottom part of your upper back, start moving your arms, nut the chin, flex the head, neck, and upper back, and returning all the way up into the curl up. So just finding yourself in that curl up position. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, first tilt the tail under. Look for your C curve. Start peeling off the spine from the bottom, lifting every vertebra separately, and then start to lower your head down as your arms go up and over. Inhaling and then exhale, lowering down the spine, lifting your arms, nut the chin, flex the neck. So along the way, we're always going to find ourselves in the C curve. And then opening up your pelvis to neutral, finding yourself in the curl up. Inhale. Exhale, tilting the tail under, peeling off the spine, reaching your arms up and over, and find yourself in the top movement of the spine curl. Inhale. And exhale to lower. Lower the spine and start coming into the curl up. So we'll really dig deep into that movement of the spine, looking for the movement between every single vertebra, tilting the tail, lowering down, reaching the arms up and over. And then lowering down, coming all the way up into the curl up. So just warming up the abdominals slowly. And the next time, tilting the tail under, come up into the spine curl and hold it there, and lifting your arms up towards the ceiling. We're then going to open the right arm to the right and opposite leg to the left. Trying to maintain your neutral pelvis here, and then bringing your arm back. So the pelvis and the spine are not moving. You just try to move from the hip and the shoulder joint here. Go as far as you can with the leg, making sure that the pelvis is still. Let's do 4 more. We open up and then closing back in. And then opening up the leg and opposite arm and closing. Make sure the leg that is not opening is staying completely still as well. And close to 1 more here. Opening up. And then closing the arm. Take a deep breath and float your arms up and over. And then slowly lower the spine down and start to curl yourself up. Finding that curled up position, hold your curled up position, and again opening up your right arm to the side and opposite leg. So we're just gonna open up the arm and the leg, pelvis stays in neutral, closing the arm, closing the leg. And same thing on the other side. So we're trying to stay in that pure flexion, making sure that we're preventing our spine from going from side to side. And let's do 4 more. We open up the leg, open the arm, and then closing. And then we open up arm and opposite leg. And then close. 1 more on each side. Opening up the arm and leg. And then closing with control. One last here. Opening up the leg and arm. And closing with control. Now take a deep, long inhale. Exhale again till the tail under. Start peeling off the spine sequentially. Float your arms up and over. And then as you exhale, lower down the spine and again, curl the spine up. So we're coming back into the curl up. Stay lifted. Come up with one leg. Follow it with the other. Take a long inhale here. And as you exhale, start coming into your hundreds. So we're moving 5 times for the inhale, 5 times for the exhale. Trying to move purely your arms without moving the torso. And we inhale. And we exhale. Deep, long breaths in. And deep, long breaths out. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale. And we exhale. Let's take 2 more breaths in and out. Long inhales. Long exhales. One more long inhale. And one more long exhale. Stop the movement of your arms. Lower one leg at a time in towards the floor. I'm just going to scooch myself slightly forward up the mat so I don't fall off the mat. So lowering the legs down again. We make sure the feet are hip width apart and parallel. Again, till the tail under. And start peeling off the spine sequentially as you lift your arms up and over your head. Deeply inhale at the top. And as you exhale, lower your spine down and start to curl up again. So we're going to go into the abdominals. Deep, deep abdominals coming up. Stay lifted and again come into double knee fold. One leg lifts, the other one comes up. This time I want us to bring the hands behind the head and just go for little toe taps. Tapping your right big toe into the floor, then lift your leg up and then left leg taps. Try to lower your leg only as close to the floor as you can. Maintain your lower back on the floor and neutral pelvis. And let's do 3. So we don't have to go all the way down with the feet. We can go a little bit higher away from the floor. And tap, lift both legs up, hold them up, lower the spine down, but keep your legs up in the air. We're gonna oblique curl to the left and toe tap your right big toe into the floor. And then lift the leg up, lower your spine down. And then oblique curl to the right and toe tap your left big toe into the ground. And then slowly lower. Let's do 4 more. Changing sides each time, moving your rib into opposite hip. Just finding that flexion and rotation in the upper part of your spine. Slowly lowering down. Let's do 1 more on each side. Twist and rotating and flexing, and we lower. Let's do 1 more here. And we slowly lower down. And then oblique curl to the left, and this time straighten your right leg away from you. Come back down, bend the knee. So we're doing that slow motion crisscross. Oblique curl to the right and stretch the left leg. And then coming back. And let's do 1 more on each side. Twist and stretch that leg, coming back. And then twist and stretch that opposite leg. And coming back. Staying here, curl up to the center. Hold, reach your arms forward. Check if you can curl a bit more. Lower one leg down. Follow it with the other. Stretch one leg away, then the other. And then float your arms up and over your head. Let the ribs float off the floor just for a moment so that you stretch the abdominals. We did a lot of work on this, so just opening them up. Take a deep breath in and then again press your rib cage. Have your ribs down towards the floor. So we're back in neutral. We're going to try and roll up. So first curling up through the spine. Then we till the tail under. Press the navel and then maybe go only to where the shoulders are above the hips, keeping that C curve. And then from here, slowly rolling the spine back down. Keeping the C curve, reaching the arms up and over your head. And again, rolling up. Coming towards where the shoulders are above the hips. And then lengthen into neutral. Feel free to bend your knees if you need to. Rotate and extend to the right. So breastbone goes up towards the ceiling, returning back to neutral. Do the same thing on the other side. Rotate and extend the spine. Come back into the center. Tilt the tail under, find C curve and roll through each vertebra. Reaching your arms up and over. And then repeating this movement. So we're coming up. Then lengthen to neutral. Rotate and extend your upper back. Back into that neutral position here. And then go to the other side. Rotate and extend. And then coming back to the center. Tilting the tail under. And coming down. And we're going to do it one more time. Reaching arms up and over. Rolling up. Traveling through each vertebra. Lengthening into neutral. Extend and rotate. Come back into the center. One more. Extend into and rotate to the other side. And come back to the center. And tilt the tail under, go just a little bit down. Hold it there. And then try lifting your right leg up. It's almost that sensation that the leg is being lifted with the abs. Up, up and away, and then lower. And lift it up 2 more times. Reaching it up and away, one last here. Up and away. Just changing sides. Left leg goes up and away. When you lift your left leg, check if we can relax the opposite leg. Up and away. And one more here, go up and away. Lower that leg down. And lift yourself up, circle your arms around. And bringing your hands down, fingertips come down to the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down and open up the chest. And again, lift the right leg up and away. Try this time, maintaining the stability in the pelvis. So be very careful we don't tilt the tail under. But we just try to lift the leg and changing 3 times on the other side. Lifting up and away. For 2. And 1. And then with your abdominals, lift yourself up to standing. Sending your arms forward. Flex your feet and maybe open them a little bit wider than hip width. Take a deep breath in and exhale, spine stretch forward. Head, neck, upper back, drawing the abs in and up. Coming forward, inhale. And exhale, restack your spine sequentially, imagining the wall behind you growing tall. If we struggle to sit up tall with legs straight, bring your legs into your diamond. Okay, so wherever we feel is working for us. And we round the spine. Inhaling at the bottom. And exhale to restack. This time as you restack, float your arms all the way up. And then pull your elbows into the waist, extend your head, neck, and your upper back. Try to squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. Return your arms up, bring your spine to neutral. Send your arms forward and spine stretch forward. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale deeply at the bottom. Exhale, restack the spine. Lifting the arms up. Pull your elbows into the waist and again find that extension, head, neck, upper back. Bringing your arms back up, return to neutral. Arms forward, spine stretch forward. Inhale and we exhale. Let's do one more like this. We reach the arms up, pull the elbows into the waist, extending from the upper back. Then float your arms up, bring it back to neutral. Send your arms forward, point the toes, tilt the tail under. Find your C-curve again. Bring one leg in, follow it with the other for rolling like a ball. So the hands are coming onto the shins, elbows stay open. We tilt the tail deeply under. And try to press your shins into the hands and press your hands into the shins at the same time. Keep tilting the tail under even more, and then so much that you roll back and up. And let's just do a few more. Going back and up. Shoulders stay relaxed. And remember, we go back because we tilt the tail under. And we go back and up. Let's do two more. And tilt more. Going back towards the shoulder blades, keeping your C-curve along the way. And one last. Going back. Holding it here. Try to lift your feet a little bit higher up, grab underneath the knees, and then tilting your tail under, coming towards your shoulder blades. Bring your feet together, knees slightly apart, hands go to the sides of the lower legs. We're gonna head for a single leg stretch. One leg goes away, the hands go into the opposite shin, and then swap. And changing. And we change. And change. And let's do a few more here. And change. Let's do 4, 4, and 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1, and 1. Bring both legs in, straight to double leg stretch. We stretch the legs, reach the arms, circle around, bring the legs back in. Inhale and exhale. 4 more here. Breathe in and exhale, keeping the lower back on the floor. Also think about your heavy tail staying on the floor. 4, 2, and 2. 1 more here. 1 and 1. Keep both legs in. Bring your hands behind the head for a little faster crisscross. So this time we rotate to the bend like the other one is stretched out, and we change. And change. Reaching up and over with the spine. Let's try doing 3, 3, and 2, 2, 1, 1. Bring yourself back to the center. Place your hands on the legs. Curl up a little bit further forward. And then lowering the spine down. Hug your left knee into the chest. Stretch your right leg away. Open left arm to the left. And bring your left leg across the body for a little rotation stretch here. Turning your head opposite direction. Let's take 2 deep breaths in and out. And then slowly returning with the leg. Placing your hands on your calf or on the thigh, depending on how flexible we feel today. We're just going to stretch that leg up to the ceiling and noticing if we can make flex the foot. Then point your toe and bend and hug it into the chest. And again, stretch your leg away and flex the foot. Try to maintain your neutral pelvis and spine along the way. And then stretch that leg, hold it there, curl up. Check if both sides of the waist are equally long. And then just flex and point that ankle. Just flexing and pointing. And already feel that the leg that is on the floor is a little bit active. So we try to press that heel a little bit in towards the floor. Just finishing off your last one, pointing the toes, pull the knee into the chest, And just changing sides. We bring the right knee in, the left leg stretches away, open right arm, float your right leg across the body for a little stretch here. Deeply inhaling and exhale. We're gonna take one more long inhale. And then slowly returning back with the leg, hug the knee into the chest. And again, stretching the leg, flexing the foot. So stretch the leg as far as you can, point and bring the knee into the chest. Two more like this. We're gonna straighten the leg, flex, push the heel into the ceiling, point and bend. One last like this. Flex. And the next time we stretch the leg, hold it there, curl up, and just flex and point the foot here. Again, observe your body, finding that neutral pelvis. Start to activate that bottom leg, press the heel slightly into the ground. And then one more, pointing the foot and hold it here. If you feel very flexible, you can keep on pressing that bottom heel into the ground. But if it's gonna be too much, we're gonna keep the leg lifted. Okay, we're just gonna head for scissors. Bringing the leg in for 2, swap the legs, and pause for 2. And change. Pause, pause, and pause, pause. Try not to bring your torso into the leg, but more leg into the torso. And we change. And change. And we change. And let's try doing a few more here. And change. Let's do one more on each leg. And changing. And then bring both legs up to the ceiling. Heels come together, hands come behind the head. And lower your legs only as close to the floor as you can, keeping your lower back on the floor, and then lift them back up. 4 more like this. We inhale and exhale. 3 more, inhaling and exhale. Try to keep that movement in your hip, so your pelvis stays still. And lifting up. And 1 more, inhale. And we exhale, lift. Bend your knees, hug them into the chest. Turn your head from side to side as you move your legs from one side to the other. Come back to center. Grab underneath your knees. Come up into your C curve. And do a little rolling like a rocker movement on the lower back. Just trying to keep the same distance, legs, torso, shoulders stay relaxed. And we're gonna go higher up. Hold it at the top, lift your feet slightly higher, open up the legs slightly wider. Just make sure you got your mat behind you, so I'm gonna scooch myself slightly forward. And then use your arms to send your breastbone slightly further forward. So just looking for your J shape, where your upper back is in neutral, lower back is in a little flexion. And then till the tail under more, find your deep C curve, going back, and then up and finding your J. So just coming into that open leg rocker prep. Tilting into C, coming up into J. And let's do a few more here. And opening up. And tilt. And opening up. Let's do one more. Opening up. Hold it in here. Maybe bring your legs together. Let go of the legs. Reach the arms forward. Take 2 deep breaths in and out. One more here. And then slowly lower your feet down. Straighten your legs. Again, if you can sit up tall, we're going to straighten the legs and keep the heels together. If we can't sit up tall, find your diamond legs. So whatever feels more comfortable for you. Just making sure you're sitting on top of your sitting bones and the spine is long, arms go to the side, palms can face the ceiling. We're just going to rotate, we're going to pulse on 2 to the right. pulse, pulse, come back to the center, inhale, and then going to the left. And then back to the center. And rotate, pulse. Remember, each pulse brings us a little bit more rotation. So we try not to bounce in the same place. And the same thing is gonna apply to the next exercise. Okay, we're gonna pulse, pulse back, center, one more on each side. Pelvis stays still, making sure, especially if your legs are straight, that one leg is not getting longer than the other. Come back to the center, open your feet a little bit wider than we have them, so maybe hip width apart. And then rotate to the right, and we're gonna saw. So we're gonna rotate the back arm internally, front arm externally, and we're gonna reach and pulse for 3, 2, 1, and then restack the spine back up, rotate to the left, and then back arm rotates internally, and we flex and rotate for 3, pulsing 2, and 1, and then come back up. And changing sides. So it's rotation, and then flexion, we pulse 3, 2, and 1, and then coming back. Rotating and pulsing. 3, 2, 1, and then coming back. We're gonna do one more on each side. Twist and reach. 3, 2, 1, coming up. Twisting and reach for 3, 2, and 1, coming up, opening up your arms, and then cross your ankles, bring your hands down towards the floor, and option 1, we stay on the knees. Option 2, a little bit harder, we can go into our plank. Okay, so whatever you feel is working for you better for your press-ups. We're gonna try and maintain neutral position around the spine and pelvis. Shoulder blades stay away from each other. And then bring your elbows into your waist. Maybe even shift the body weight slightly forward. And then press back up. And we go for 2. And we press 1 last. Down and up. And on the next one, try to go all the way down. All the way down. And then we're gonna just stretch one arm forward so that we can turn to face me so that you can see me the best, okay? Whichever side that is. Stretching the legs away from you. Starting with torpedo, so making sure that you're in neutral position of the spine and pelvis. Lift your top leg up and away. Just a little bit, not too high, and then bottom leg goes to touch the top. We're inhaling at the top, and then lower both legs down together. Inhale, top leg up and away. Exhale, bottom goes to touch the top. Try not to use your top shoulder. Just keep it down on the floor for stability, but we'll try not to push it into the ground. Lifting up, exhale, inhale, hold, and then slowly lower. Let's do one more. So we're just gonna do 4 in total like this. Reach, lifting bottom, hold, and then slowly lower. One last, and we're gonna hold it in the air. Hold it up. Now I want you to lift your top leg a little bit higher. Keep it exactly as it is, and bottom leg goes to touch the top. For 6, so 7 in total. We go 5 and 4. Inner thigh to inner thigh, 3 and 2 and 1. Keep both legs together. Send your legs slightly forward, maybe 45 degrees forward, and lower your legs to the floor. Come up onto your elbow. We're gonna go for front and back here. So now we are in that little lateral flexion here of the spine. Again, just making sure in a good position so your pelvis is coming into that almost neutral. So the pelvis is in neutral, your spine is in slight lateral flexion. Then your top leg is gonna lift off the bottom leg. Make sure that your bottom leg is active. We push it slightly into the ground and reach it away from the pelvis. And we flex the front foot, top foot, and kick it twice to the front, point and go back. And again, flex, kick, point, go back. Now we try to move from the hip joint. So check if you can go only as far as mobility allows. So try to use your center to stabilize your pelvis and spine. And noticing, can we move purely from the hip? And we kick, point, go back. Let's do 2 more. Kick, point, go back, and finding that space in the hip. Now go back and hold. Check if you can really open up that hip. So your foot is further back than your hip, but make sure your knee is not bending. Then lift your leg up. Float it a little bit forward, down, back to hip height and back again. So we're circling around, but we're trying to go only as far forward as we can go back. So really focusing on those movements back, trying to create that movement into hip extension. Find center and then reverse the direction of the circle. Going back. Just a little bit forward and then focusing mainly on going back. Let's do 2 more. And let's do 1 last, so we do 4 each direction. Hold it in the center, bend your knee, grab your ankle, and then try to move your knee forward, knee back, and at the same time, check if you can send your pubic bone forward. So we really open up that front of the hip, looking for space there. Breathing into that space. And then start bending bottom leg as well. We place one leg on top of the other. Press yourself up, grab your top ankle, and just reaching up and over. Rather than collapsing down, try to elongate your spine and send the crown away from the tail. And then slowly from here, start to rotate towards the floor. Tap the floor maybe, if we can reach, with that top hand, and then lift it up, open back to that lateral flexion, and maybe extend a little bit towards the ceiling. Let's do it 1 more time. We gently tap, and then coming up and opening up. Opening up, return back to your lateral flexion, bringing your arm back, and just find your mermaid legs on this side. Okay, just for a moment. So we're going to do a little rotation of the spine, trying to press both hips into the ground. Feel free to sit on top of something. If you feel that your pelvis is uneven, we can sit on some blocks to elevate the pelvis a little bit. And then float your arms to the side, pulling the shoulders down. And then go up and over into lateral flexion. The same side we just did in a second. Opening up the ribcage, and then restuck your spine back into the center. Start reaching that arm away, bringing your hand down to the floor, and then rotate from your ribs. Feel that your arm is just following what the spine is doing. Just opening up the chest in here, rotate back to face me. Lift up, pressing both hips back to the floor and laterally flex. Reaching, and then maybe add your rotation, the same rotation we did a second ago with a little bit different position of the legs. Opening up, and let's do it just 1 more time. Coming up, first reach at a diagonal, bring your arm, then rotating the spine. Try not to pull your hip with you. And then extend a little bit, opening up the breastbone forward, opening up the arm. Come up. 1 more lateral flexion here, adding that rotation, opening up, and then come back up, and then just float your legs to the other side, so you still can see me, bringing that hand to the floor, and check if you can come up into your side plank. So maybe side plank, if we feel that it's too much for us, bring your bottom knee down to the floor. So check what feels better for you. And let's hold wherever you are for 2 breaths. Looking for the beautiful inhale and exhale. Feeling that strength around the shoulders. One more long inhale. And then bring that top hand down to the floor. We're gonna look for our plank, so this time we're facing the other side of the room. Again, we're going for 3 press-ups, so if you need to be on the knees, please going down onto the knees, okay? Whatever option feels better. Shift the body weight slightly forward, elbows come into the waist, and then press back up. We're just gonna do 3 again. Go only as low as you can, maintain that stability, okay? In the pelvis, in the spine, in the shoulders as well. And the next one going all the way down. All the way as slowly as we can. And then just changing sides. So the other arm goes forward. And we're just gonna change that, we're gonna face the same direction. Okay, starting with torpedo. So bringing your spine, your pelvis into neutral. Lift your top leg up and away. And then bottom leg goes. We hold for the inhale, reaching the legs away, and then slowly lowering down. Try not to engage your shoulder into the movement. So we just lift from the hip. And we lift, shoulders stay relaxed. Inhale, lengthen. And then slowly lowering back down. And we lift. Two more full movements. Then we're gonna hold it up at the 5th one. Lowering down, and we lift. And lift the bottom leg, so inner thigh to inner thigh, hold and lengthen. And then slowly lower. And one more time, one leg comes up, the other one follows. Hold your legs up. Maybe lift your top leg slightly bit higher. And then bottom leg is gonna go up and down. And up and down. And again, think inner thigh to inner thigh. Be careful not to push your ankle to ankle too much. And we go for 3 or 4. Let's go 3 and 2. And 1, bring both legs together, hold them together. Float your legs slightly forward, maybe 45 degrees as we lower the legs to the floor. Just make sure when you moved your leg forward, it came from the hip. So we didn't tilt the tail under. We're still here in the neutral position of the pelvis. Coming up onto your elbow. Be careful we just don't rest on that hand. Maybe to engage a little bit more, we can just imagine that the elbow wants to slide down to the pelvis on the mat. So spine comes into that beautiful lateral flexion. We're gonna reach both legs away, just making sure you position yourself properly here in that lateral flexion. The pelvis stays in neutral. We're gonna lift the top leg up. Bottom leg is working. Press it down and away. We're gonna go front and back to start with. Flex, kick twice to the front, point, and go back. And again, we flex, kick, point, go back. And flex, kick, point, and back. Finding that movement in your hip. And feeling that back of the leg working as you move your leg back. And we kick, and go back. Kick, and we go back. And we go for 2. And going back. Go back and hold. Lift slightly to the front, down, back, and lift and around. So we're circling from the hip. Remember, movement back is the most important for us here. And then center and reverse the direction of the circle. So only as far forward as you can go back. Just be careful you're not doing your circles in the front of your body. 2 more here. And around. And 1 more. Bring it to the center, bend your knee, grab your ankle, give yourself a little stretch here. So your knee goes back. We try to tilt the tail under as we press the knee back. Breathing into that little stretch here. 1 more long inhale. And then we bend the bottom leg as well. Bring the top leg on top of the bottom leg. Come up, grab your top ankle with the top hand and go up and over. Again, reaching up and over rather than collapsing, looking for that equal movement across each vertebra. And then rotate your spine. Bring your top hand down to maybe tap the floor if we can reach. And then opening up. And the chest maybe opens into the ceiling a little bit. And just do one more like this. And maybe opening up. Coming back through lateral flexion. Lifting up and just open up your feet into your mermaid. So just doing the mermaid on the other side. Checking maybe one side feels much more stacked than the other. We open up the arms, shoulders down, crown lengthens, diving up and over. Reach, reach, reach. And we added that rotation here as well. So let's add that rotation here. Opening up. Lifting up and then reach first at a diagonal. Bring that hand down and rotating here. From the upper back, a little extension, maybe breastbone comes forward. Opening up that arm again. And lifting up. And then press that hip into the floor as you laterally flex. Maybe up that rotation here. And up. And we reach, float away, one more here, bringing that hand down, rotating, rotate, and coming up, lifting up. One more time, let's go into lateral flexion, rotating, coming up, releasing, and then again, just floating your legs to the other side. Bring your hand down and find your side plank on the other side. Remember, the bottom knee can come down to the ground, wherever you need to. Let's hold it for 2 breaths. Inhale, and we exhale. One more long inhale. And then bring the top arm down. Find your plank again. Let's all find our plank this time, okay? Finding your plank. And then lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Find your up stretch. Relaxing here for a second. Remembering to find the proper alignment for your shoulders here. Pulling them away from the ears, away from each other, as if they want to wrap around your rib cage. Start walking your hands towards your feet. Finding that forward fold, and here maybe holding your hands on the floor or grab the opposite elbows and just bend one knee at a time. Just relaxing here for a moment. Straightening the other leg as much as possible for us. And then bend both legs and slowly roll yourself up. Float your arms to the sides and up. Try to keep your neutral spine. Lift your heels off the floor. Staying on your big toe. And then lower the heels and dining the spine. Flexing through each vertebra. Bring your hands down to the floor. And again, walk your hands forward. Find your plank. 3 more press ups. Knees can stay up or down. We bring the elbows into the waist. Press yourself back up. And we go for 2, press, and 1 more, full, and then go all the way down to the floor. Bring your big toes together, heels apart, arms alongside of the body for the dart. So try to maybe lift the ribcage a little bit off the floor, the bottom ribs, so we don't start with extension, okay? We're gonna go into extended position of the upper back, so we inhale. Exhale, slide your nose forward, move your head, then your neck, bring your heels together, then lifting your upper back, and feel the rotation across your arm, across your shoulders. So your palms face each other and then they face the floor. Actively squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, sequentially lowering your upper back, arms, neck and head as your heels open. Inhale. And exhale, coming up. Head, neck, upper back. Keeping your lower back and your pelvis in neutral. Use as much abdominals as you need to maintain that. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to lower. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to come up. Lift, squeeze. Inhale, hold. And then we slowly lower. Let's do one more. And then coming up. Hold it there. And then start reaching your legs away and up. Make sure we still didn't collapse into the lower back. So that movement came from your hip. We're then gonna open the legs and maybe send your arms into the T. And then close your legs and bring your arms alongside of the body. Open the arms, open the legs. And bring them back in. Let's do it 2 more times. We open arms, open legs, come back. 1 more like this. Now keep your legs open. Just bring your arms and lower the legs as they are. Open and lower your spine down. Your heels are in, your toes are out. Bring your arms outside of the mat. Maybe keeping your hands aligned with your head, depending on the length of the arms. That's how higher or lower below the head they will go. So we can start aligning them with the head and then noticing how we will feel across the spine where we're going to be going into cobra. Just turn your heels in and your toes out, forehead comes down, we're inhaling. Start with prep. Slide your nose, head, neck, and then your upper back. Try not to use your arms, but try to think about elongating your spine. Inhaling here. And exhale, lengthen as you lower. We can continue like that. If we feel stiff in the upper back, continuing like this. If you want to go into your full cobra, start with cobra prep. They're coming into lower back and then extending through the hips. Deep, long inhales. And then exhale to lower. And we inhale to prepare. So exhale, start with cobra prep, maybe hold it in cobra prep. If you want to go for full cobra, continuing with the rest of the spine and then hip extension. Deeply inhaling and exhale to lower. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale, coming up. Reaching up. Inhaling at the top. And exhale, continue to lengthen your spine even as you lower it down. 1 more inhale and exhale. And then we hold it up wherever we are, whether full cobra or just cobra prep. Try to bring your chin into the chest. So maintaining your upper back in extension and flex your head and neck. And then bring it back up and let's do it 1 more time. Try to think about going up and over with the neck. And then return it back, inhale. And exhale to lower. And then press yourself up. Find your rest pose. Maybe keeping your knees hip width. If you want to, we can open the knees wide. Whatever feels better. And just relaxing in here for a moment. And then take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press the navel and then slowly roll yourself up into high kneeling. Find your high knee neutral, and then extend your head, neck, upper back to a kneeling dart. Pelvis, lower back in neutral. Return your spine to neutral, roll the spine, bone by bone.
landing with your hands on the floor, and then extending your cat. So we're in that all-fours and coming into extended cat. And then round your spine from the pelvis, sequentially flex into your flexed cat, into the C-curve. Bring your pelvis slightly back to the heels, and then roll yourself back up into high kneeling. Do a high kneeling dart. Again, head, neck, upper back. Opening up through the chest, return back to neutral. Roll through each vertebra. Hands land quite far away from the knees so that then we can open up into that extended cat. Opening up the chest. Round your spine, find your flexed cat, focusing deeply on the lower back flexion. Sit back a little bit to the heels and then roll yourself up, this time into neutral high kneeling. Float your arms to the sides. And then seal the tail under, round into a C and tap the floor with the fingertips. And then come back up. And maybe opening up into a V and a little extension in your upper back. And again, rounding your spine. And coming up. Opening up. This time rounding the spine. Bring your hands to the ground. Tuck the toes under. Lift your knees up and try to stay on the toes here and just stretch the spine a little bit here. And then press the heels back down towards the ground. Finding that stretch. Inhale and exhale, roll up. And bringing your pelvis and the rest of the spine. Find your neutral and let's finish with one roll down. Rounding your spine. Deeply inhaling at the bottom and exhale, rolling up. Float your arms to the sides and up. Maintaining your neutral this time. Take your hands to pray and just closing your eyes. Feeling really connected with your body, with your spine, with all of the joints. And let's finish here with 2 deep breaths. Inhaling, listening to your breath, and exhale. One more long inhale. And one more long exhale. Bringing the chin into the chest. Thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful practice. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much.